Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening's update on Winter Storm Ember. So, Winter Storm Ember is currently moving across the Midwest, and as of 7:05 p.m. Central Standard Time, we are seeing moderate snow moving through portions of Illinois and Missouri, including St. Louis. Winter Storm Ember is going to continue to move to the east through the overnight, and we have widespread winter storm warnings in effect from central Virginia through western Maryland, central Pennsylvania, southeastern New York, into portions of Massachusetts, Connecticut, southern Vermont in the pink. Taking a look at some of these winter storm warnings, we have a winter storm warning in effect from Saturday 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time through Saturday 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for portions of North Carolina and Virginia. Heavy mixed precipitation expected, total snow accumulations of up to 2 inches, and ice accumulations up to 1/4 of an inch for these areas from 4 a.m. through 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Saturday. So make sure you're preparing for that if you live across Virginia, going up towards Pennsylvania, western Maryland for their winter storm warning. We have total snow accumulations of 4 to 8 inches from Saturday 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time through Saturday 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour are likely. So this is going to be very heavy snow for my friends across Pennsylvania, up through Harrisburg, through Wilkes-Barre, going into areas like Binghamton, Utica, Albany, into southeastern New York State. We have winter storm warnings in effect from 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday. 6 to 10 inches expected, isolated totals of 12 inches, possible in the eastern Catskills, winds up to 35 miles per hour. So, very difficult travel and treacherous conditions for southeastern New York. Finally, up to Massachusetts, winter storm warning from Saturday 4 p.m. Eastern Time through 1 a.m. Monday Eastern Standard Time for heavy snow accumulations of 6 to 12 inches, winds gusting of 35 miles per hour for northern Connecticut, western central Massachusetts, and northeastern Massachusetts. So make sure you're preparing for that up here as well. Winter storm watches in portions of Vermont, southern New Hampshire, southwest Maine, into Boston. See with Boston, 3 to 8 inches of snow possible. And then we have winter weather advisories in the purples just north of New York City, west of Philadelphia, just west of Washington, D.C., down through portions of Virginia, North Carolina, West Virginia, and Ohio as well. So let's take a look at our HRRR model, the 18Z run, to time out the snow from Winter Storm Ember. So snow is going to continue to spread east through the evening and overnight. Going to tomorrow morning, we're going to be seeing heavy snow across northern Kentucky, southwestern Ohio, most of Indiana, with freezing rain across western North Carolina and Virginia, and snow in West Virginia. As we go into about 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we see snow moving into Pennsylvania, northern Virginia, continuing across Ohio, as well as some sleet and possibly into Washington, D.C. And now, as we start getting into about noon tomorrow Eastern Time, notice the very, very dark reflectivities. Very heavy snow is going to be falling across eastern Ohio, western Pennsylvania, into West Virginia as we go into tomorrow morning through the midday. This is going into the afternoon now. Heavy snow overspreads Pennsylvania, moving to New York, northern New Jersey, continuing in eastern Ohio. And then as we go through into about 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, could see some very heavy snow at first in New York City and areas like Newark, New Jersey. Snow staying just north of Philadelphia. And then as we go into about 8 to 10 o'clock, snow in Boston, snow across most of southeastern New England. And then as we go into Sunday morning, this is when the snow is going to spread up towards Maine and northern New England, with sleet mixing in across portions of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and near Boston. And then as we go through into Sunday, snow will continue throughout the day Sunday across most of the Northeast. So our snowfall accumulations keep on increasing. Now we can expect a widespread 6 to 10 inches of snow across eastern West Virginia, far western Maryland, In Ohio, I think they're underdoing it a little bit, about 2 to 4 inches of snow for eastern Ohio. But once we start getting into Pennsylvania, western Pennsylvania, about 3 to 6 inches of snow. But the majority of the rest of Pennsylvania, from southern to northeast, could be seeing a good 6 to 12 inches of snow with this winter storm. And then as we start looking up towards New York State and towards New England, we could be seeing as much as 12 to 18 inches of snow across most of New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, into southwestern Maine, western Massachusetts, and Connecticut, and about 4 to 6 inches in Boston. And maybe you're right on the line, New York City could be seeing a good 2 to 4 inches in New York City as well. So make sure you're preparing for very heavy snow tonight, from Saturday into Sunday, Monday morning across most of the Northeast. Now, taking a look at our ice accretion map, we are expecting some pretty decent and heavy icing across western North Carolina and Virginia, where we are expecting a good 10th to quarter inch of ice accretion from northern Virginia through western Virginia, western North Carolina. Some areas could get as much as a third to half of an inch. So this could be leading to some power outages, tree damage, and near impossible travel conditions for these areas. Make sure you're preparing for that if you live across Virginia, West Virginia, and western North Carolina. Could even get some trace amounts of ice up towards New England as well. Now, taking a look at our National Weather Service's watches, warnings, and advisories map, we have a lot of winter weather advisories across the western quarter of the country, some winter storm warnings in the pinks in the mountains of the Cascades and Sierra Nevada, a lot of wind advisories in the southwest, winter storm watches across the Four Corners, as well as portions of Kansas, eastern Nebraska, western Iowa, winter weather advisories in northeastern Minnesota, central Kansas, and as I showed you earlier, widespread winter weather advisories from North Carolina through Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York State in the pink, or in the purple, winter storm warnings in the pinks through Virginia, western Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York State, southern and southwestern New England, and then some winter storm watches in central New England in the dark blue. As all this wasn't enough, we got a severe weather threat as well. Looking at this evening's severe threat, we have a marginal risk across southern Mississippi, Alabama, western Florida in the dark green, with a 2% chance of tornadoes touching down within 25 miles of location from southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, through the Florida Panhandle in the green. And this also includes a 5% damaging wind risk as well. Make sure you're on guard for isolated severe weather through the overnight. And then looking at tomorrow, a marginal risk for most of the Florida Peninsula with a 2% tornado risk and a 5% wind risk. So make sure you're preparing for Winter Storm Ember if you live across the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast, as this is going to be a significant winter storm. Thanks for watching this evening's winter weather update. Please stay safe and have a wonderful evening, my friends.